What does your video sound like?
Oh, party, yeah.
Oh my god, please. Wow, look at that hype train. Thank you guys for the hype train. Beth, thank you for doing first. Alan, thank you for daily star candy. Erica, thank you for daily star candy. 33 months, Beth. That actually is crazy. Erica, thank you for the 2-month streak. I appreciate it so much. And the 100 biddies. Beth, thank you for doing your daily star candy. I know, that's crazy. I still feel like you guys just moved to my specific area. And we were just talking about you moving to my specific area. That is actually insane. But how are you guys? How are you doing on this fine Wednesday? I was debating between starting stream later and going to work out, but I decided to be here, so here we are. I am traveling this weekend, like I do every weekend. And I'm excited for it. I'm meeting up with some college friends. One of them lives north of here a little bit with her babies. She's got babies. And it was one of their birthdays, so we're gonna go celebrate, but then also take her out because I don't think she's been on quite some time without them, so. I know my baby is in the background. Nico, why don't you come say hello? She's like, excuse me. Excuse me, I'm doing something, thank you. Eddie, hello, welcome in. It's so nice to see you. How are you? Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say, so we're probably just gonna pull up the game. Headaches non-stop? Oh my god. Like actual headaches, or are you saying like life? Because like same. But I don't know how to say that, Eddie. I'm gonna be real. I opened up Valorant. Guys, I opened up Valorant. Dear Lord. You had an intense headache yesterday with vertigo? Oh my god, Eddie. I suffer from vertigo, like, really bad when I get it. It's so bad. I can't move. Like, I have to be in bed. I cannot look at anything. I cannot do anything. I'm so sorry. Vertigo is actually the worst. 14ing? Yes, we are 14ing today. Okay, let's move this over here. If I can ever open the game. Guess Valo, yeah, guess it is a Valo stream now. Just a repeat of Monday. Oh my god, maintenance, okay. That's fine, that's fine. Maintenance is fine. But yeah, so I haven't, knock on wood, I don't think I've gotten vertigo very severely. I've got it very, very, I think I've gotten it like once or twice, very, little. That's not even the right term, but you guys will understand what I mean. Since my stroke, but before my stroke, it would happen like so much, and it was bad. It was bad. Like laid out all day for like a day or two, I could not. Daily reminder to squash that kettle. What? Is that something to do in 14? I'm still very new to the game, so, but welcome in. Oh, the kitty. Squish it. Squishy it. Geeks. They're telling me to squish you. Come here. She is glaring at me. Glaring. She said, excuse you. I'm in the middle of cleaning myself. Leave me alone. No squish, only bites. I don't think Hiko would like that either. I think not. Can you don't? Yeah, truly. She's like, how about we no? How about no? Oh, I have to say, hold on. Say, oh gosh. Oh my god, 2 A's. There we go. Amazing. I'm gonna be real, guys. I totally forgot what's going on. Oh, we just met up with, God, what's her name? Beautiful Catwoman. Yep. Miggy, let's go. Thank you for the giant emote. I love it so much. Justola, thank you. Oh my god. Oh, I gotta do the same thing. I guess that's hello. To greet residents, yeah. So we are just kind of vibing, just meeting everyone right now. Justola is so... Ugh. What a great character. I don't think there's any of like the main characters or main group of characters that I dislike. For now. You know, that could change because I did hate Urianger and then now I'm kind of in love with him, so. She stole my heart. Hey! Nice pun. We love puns here. Got raid with healer. I think I'm finally getting used to Sage. Let's go! That's so exciting. When you feel like when you finally feel like you're like, okay, I could actually do pretty well with this class is a very good feeling. Minphilia. Okay. Can't quite hear the game sounds. Yeah, so let's see. I might have turned it down. I hope I... See, the thing about... Yeah, no, it's all the way up. And I don't know how to make it even higher. Oh, yes, I do. Duh, Kira. Oh, I didn't even change it. I haven't changed it. Oh my god, thank you. I had it on Valorant for last stream. Hold on. Okay. There it is, very faintly. I appreciate that so much. Oh my god. I was like, wait. A thing you'll learn about my streams is that somehow, no matter what I do, I always have some type of audio issues. Don't know what it is, don't know what I do. I'm just here existing. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're just doing chores over here. We love a scuff stream, truly. Yep, the scuff. You know, we try our hardest out here, and that's all you can ask for, you know? Yeah, so long as there aren't too many confusing area attacks, I'm good. But there are still some fights where I don't know where to run. Well, I feel like that just honestly comes with time. And that's what I feel like everyone who's played this game has told me. Like, honestly, sometimes I feel like you have to go into fights and just play it a couple times for you to even know what's going on. I feel like my hair is, like, not staying up. I got this... Sometimes I feel like my little hair clips, like, just don't clip my hair very well. So we're gonna change it to a different one. Oh my god, that's so much better. Come on. I want to know. See, I don't want to just sit and run around and appease everyone. I want something big to happen. I say that, and then I'm gonna be like sobbing in like 30 minutes probably. Because this or that person decided to up and die on us. Alright. Please don't lag for me. And it's gonna do it now because it hates me. It was doing just fine. SMH. The Sin Eaters are so pretty though. Like whoever designed them popped off. Someone said, hold on. Sin Eaters, let me cook. Hello? up. Okay, cool. I also feel like since being wrong button, since being Reaper, I finally got the hang of like moving around more. And I feel like right when I'm like, oh, I got the hang of this, I'm gonna like change to Sage and level Sage a bit, so then now I can't move. But that's alright, it is what it is. Okay, Minfilia. It's dead right there. I thought they like burst. I didn't know they... Search for the Jade Heartstone. Okay. And let me get on the horse. That's gonna be 10 times quicker. Oh, there it is. Oh. This is one possibility, because it looks like there's some more over there. Yep. I gotta find a third one, because it's literally always the third one. Yeah. Yep. Oh my god. Please leave me alone. Gee whiz. Three times the charm? Yep. I feel like no matter what order you find it in, it is always the third. Wow. Their attacks are insane. They go so far. And then does this have? It does. Cool. So we're not running back if we don't have to. Alright. Here's the Jade Stone. I really just want to fight the next guy. Even though I guess this, yeah, because I'm getting rid of the sunlight. I was supposed to be like, well, it is sunny outside, so maybe we did. No, we're getting rid of the sunlight. The darker. Oh, wow. The elderly woman hands you a candle. She then points at a nearby corner where you may place it. Okay. Now go back over here. Okay.
It seemed only right that we show our faces. May we join you?
Sure. Always. 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 I wish it would stop lagging. That is my biggest wish.
Let us begin.
Okay.
I thank you all for coming to pay respects to our fallen daughter of the night. In the light, she was known as Todia, but in the dark, we shall remember her always as Menine. Let us each take a moment to offer her our prayers.
Wait, do they have two names?
We entrust her now to the night's sweet embrace. In darkness will she be free from pain and suffering, now and forevermore. May her soul find peace in the sunless sea of heaven, and in the love we bear for her in our hearts.
You know, this is why people probably read, because did I know showing up to a funeral? No, I did not. I'm sorry, Vivian. I'm sorry. There you go. I'm cold and she's looking at me like I just... She's like, okay, God. Whoa.
That vessel represents the night sky, the sunless sea of heaven.
Aww.
We call upon you now, O bringer of shadow, to lead this gentle soul onto the sea. We call upon you, O warrior of darkness, to deliver her onto paradise everlasting.
Isn't that me? Hello, is it my favorite chaos? Welcome in. How are you? So good to see you.
I am told you assisted in the preparations for the service. On behalf of the Blessed, you have my sincerest thanks. The enduring legend of the Warrior of Darkness owes much to the traditions of these people. And none were more ardent in their faith than Todia. She would have been greatly moved by your presence.
Aww.
You might not deliver her to the heavens, but if you could deliver the night sky to her people, the real night sky, it would be the next best thing.
Aww.
Their prayers would finally be answered. They could gaze up at the firmament and see their ancestors in every twinkle of the stars. We cannot allow their hopes and dreams to drown in the light. We have to bring back the dark. If we don't, who will?
I'm very tired. Oh, I'm sorry, Chaos. I hope you get plenty of time to relax tonight. Sorry you missed last stream. I was doing. Please. I hope you had the best birthday ever. You never have to say sorry for missing stream. What did you eat? Because you said you had a great dinner lined up.
No, it's all right. We will bring back the dark.
Mayhaps sooner than later, in fact. Urionje and I finished deciphering the tablet, and its contents were most illuminating. Let us reconvene in my chambers. We have much to discuss.
Much to discuss. I need someone to stop issuing executive orders for me to truly. Truly, that would be nice, wouldn't it? We went to a nice Italian restaurant. Let's go. I had a veal on a wine and mushroom sauce. Ooh, that sounds so good. And I had 2 chocolate cakes. Let's go. Chocolate is the best. We had a new executive order drop to me. Oh no. What was it? Is there another door here? Yeah. 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I've honestly been like avoiding them. But I've been avoiding them as they drop to keep my peace of mind. But I have been keeping up with the state of affairs, if that makes sense, when I can't keep up with it in a timely manner. Yeah. Basically, it's illegal to be trans and under 19. The news isn't reporting on this one. That's actually insane. That's actually crazy. I do not wish for things to escalate to a certain point. But I also cannot see how, if this is how the next 4 years is going to go, that it's not going to escalate to a certain point. And I can't say that I'm going to be surprised that it would, or that I wouldn't support it getting to that point, because what is happening in our country is actually flabbergasting. I didn't know that other countries were protesting for us either. And how everything is going down. I had no idea until recently, which is another crazy, insane thing. I saw a Minnesota bill or some stuff that was like, no gooning unless it is to make a baby, or else you pay. That's... How are they gonna... How are they gonna enforce that? Like, are we gonna become the book, what is it, 19... Or Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit... Gosh, I can't remember the numbers. Is that the one with Big Brother? Like, are they gonna put cameras in our houses? Like, what? Yeah, my household is having a normal time about this. The thing that we can take comfort in chaos is that we do have communities and we do have people around us who will support us and will fight for us. And as someone who is, white and straight, I am definitely going to try and use my voice and my power as a white straight woman to help the communities and people I care about, because that is important for people like me and people everywhere to support each other and support our communities and what we believe in. Yeah? It was like, if you goon but you using no baby items, then you get fined. Please. Please. I actually haven't answered that question. Damn, you're straight. But I bet the girlies be swooning over you. I know, it's so disappointing I'm straight. Women are so beautiful, man. I'm not gonna use it to help anyone. I'm gonna use it to... Anyway. When I was, I roomed with Farah over TwitchCon. And Farah kept telling me telling like the whole, I don't know why I want to say class, but our whole room to be like, oh, you guys should apply to like the LGBTQ plus guild. I forget what it's called and I apologize. And then she kept like telling me, and I was like, Farah, I can't in good conscience like apply to that. Like, I can't. She looked at me. She goes, what? And Kate was like, no, yeah, Kira's straight. And she was like, what? What? And I was like, yeah. She goes, oh my god. I was like, I know, it's the nose ring. I joke. Because the law proposed that mentioned was a real law once upon a time and eventually got shut down. Yeah, I do actually... I feel like a lot of these things they're like pulling out from like old things and stuff like that. Show is spaghetti until it... So is spaghetti until it gets wet. You do have a point. The nose ring, the repeated referring to me and Ash as your wives. One of those things, truly. Not me in a gay relationship, but completely straight. Not me in a gay poly relationship, but completely straight and could never be poly, actually. I forget what the word is. I want to say... Yeah, you guys see, I don't know what the word is right now. It's not coming to mind, but you guys know what it is. Monogamous, yeah, thank you. I wanted to say monolithic, and I was like, that's literally like dinosaurs, isn't it? Or like, I don't know. Monogamous, thank you. I genuinely could not come to mind. It was gone. It was gone. Dear Lord, guys. I think that just tells you how fried my brain is from things lately, you know? And I'm just happy that we have each other. And that's all I shall say about that. I gotta go down. Please, wild swine, leave me alone. But Chaos, was your birthday amazing? Please tell me your birthday was absolutely amazing. Oh my god. Smoke bomb. I think monolithic deals with large rocks. Hold on, I'm gonna have to look this. Oh, hold on. After I beat this, we're gonna have to look this up, or if someone can give me a definition, because now I'm curious. Because like, wasn't it like the monolithic period or something like that? I might be wrong. Oh yeah, I could not live the way I do if I did not have my ESM. What is ESM? I'm so sorry. I don't know abbreviations. It's pretty darn good, tasty food, a few friends. I just wish I could have gotten to hang with you all. Yeah, I wish I could have celebrated with you as well. I really wish I was able to get down there when the thing at the aquarium was going on. Oh. The monolithic period is a time when structures were built from a single material, such as rock or concrete. Oh. You know, that's why. It's like architecture. Did I go to school for design and architecture? Who would have thunk? Do I remember everything? No. Do I vaguely remember everything? Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't teleport either, sadly. I wish I could. God, if I could teleport, it'd save me so much time. We could have done fits, I know. I wonder if it's going anywhere else. Because it's probably touring the US. Emotional support. Oh. Got you. More or less. Got you. Truly, though. Honestly, if I didn't have Kiko, my little emotional support being, like, bruh, I don't know what I'd done. Paleolithic was the earliest human era. I do recall that one. I would love, honestly, I wish I had time to... I say this, but I actually hated school in some sense. But I wish I could, like, go back to a class and just learn some more. Like history, I always like learning about. Which I guess I could just pick up a book and read. Speaking of, I did start reading again, guys. I started a book this past Sunday. And I'm about 150 pages in. And I'll probably finish it this week. Because that's how I read books. And it's my goal to read about 4 books this year. So I'm on the right track. I think it was 3 books. But I hope to accomplish that and then read past that. Because that is one thing I do miss. I have been reading, I just haven't been reading books. So I've been reading more like webtoons and stuff like that. But I think reading books are important. I also went to my significant other's house this past weekend, like to his parents' house for Chinese New Year. And when they were talking, I started to pick up on like some words and could actually follow some conversations. So that was kind of exciting. to kind of see like that my working on and studying of Chinese is paying off a little bit. And I know it hasn't been long. I think it's only, I have like a 54-day streak, but you know, a little progress is progress. Especially when it's like another language, because learning another language is very hard. Especially for me, who has dyslexia and another reading disability. And then also, Chinese is one of the hardest languages you can learn, aside from English. Like, it's like on the different end of the language spectrum? Is that? Can I say that? I guess? Yeah. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Oh my god. Where am I going? Am I going? Okay. I guess we're going this way? Please leave me alone. Okay. I thought that was a player standing there, not like someone in the game. Please excuse me. I mean, no harm. Please pay no attention to the bunny girl running through your hideout. Or whatever this is. Please leave me alone. Thank you, kind sir. I'm just here to talk to you, Stola. This music slaps. 14 has some great music. I know I forgot my question of the day to the chaos. I realized that right when I got home and started stream, and I was like, I didn't speak a single word. And I'm upset. If you have to be some kind of crypt or mythical creature, what would you be? Crypt or mythical creature? I'd want to be a siren. I'm gonna be so real. I feel like being a siren would be really cool. Or a fairy. That's what I would want to be. I could see you as a siren or a mermaid, yeah. Technically, they're the same thing. But yeah, that would be cool. What would you want to be, Chaos? Skipping? I know. Crazy. I can't believe I done that. I done did.
These paintings, they seem familiar. Depictions of heroes throughout history.
The Age of Gods, the Empire of Ronka, and this.
Whoopee. Okay.
There was a man, a researcher who pored over these pieces.
Time to make Kira a mermaid tail. Oh my gosh, what could go wrong? A lot. If a mermaid, if dragon isn't. A dragon would be really cool. Beth would be unicorn. Yeah, 100%.
He offered us work when we needed it. Slaying beasts, delivering provisions. A funny old bugger he was. He believed this first painting dated back to a time of myth and legends. A tribute to the heroes of a long-forgotten era. The story went that it was rediscovered by an explorer from Ronka, who was so struck by its majesty that a second painting was commissioned. Commemorating the heroes there. One day you will all be here too, he said. Heroes immortalized forever. Maybe I'll paint you myself? I had a good laugh at that. We were only trying to make our way after all. Being heroes couldn't have been further from our minds. But it seems he actually went and did it. Before or after the flood, I wonder.
Wait, your friend has a Karlach mouse pad with big hoo-has? Oh please, that's so funny.
Rather faded, isn't it? Compared to the others. Or did someone try to scrape it off the wall? Well, maybe the man himself once he came to his senses. Do you suppose your deeds will warrant an addition to this collection? Or some?
Oh, I didn't mean to click.
There you are.
Chaos,
I have everything I
please.
need. Let us quit this place.
Oh, that's so
something the matter?
sad.
We should go. The others are waiting.
Like, I was literally just trying to help the world, and now he's just seen as a villain. I'll never get over this, guys. I'm never gonna get over this. Ugh. I wish his soul wasn't around so we didn't have to sit here and live this over and over and just watch all this happen. Because truly he deserves rest. Excuse me. Hello? Oh, destination. No. Oh, well. Oh, Kira, this is Oh, Kira's the Sabrina Carpenter. Wait, what? Where did that come from? I'm definitely... I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I am honored. You're straight. I mean, yeah, she is. The facts. You got me there. Dang. As opposed to like Chapel. Yeah.
Strange.
You got me there, Chaos.
The others on patrol should have returned by now. Our food will be overcooked if we wait any longer. We will just have to start without them. Would you call Master Matoya and the others?
That is strange. That's suspicious. That's weird.
I tire of these games, Urianger. Why do you pretend you cannot see it?
See what? My death?
The blessing may spare her the fate of becoming a Light Warden. But you cannot be blind to the nascent corruption. She is not as she was in the Source.
Oh?
Though I have no proof, I fear that the light which poured forth from the Wardens was not negated at all. I fear it was absorbed, that she has been suffused with their light.
Yeah. That is kind of what's happening. I thought we all knew that's what's happening. I thought we all saw it absorb into me.
I dare not speak until more is known.
By the time you deign to enlighten us, it may be too late, if it is not already. Urianger, I know full well, after all these years, that you have only the best of intentions. But that does not make it any easier to put my faith in a man so infatuated with secrecy.
Oh.
I have had my suspicions ever since the Exarch bade you speak that day. But now I must ask. The 8th Umbral Calamity and all that followed. Everything you claim to have seen. Did you?
Oh, sheesh.
Help! Someone help!
God dang it!
The Umorans have come for us! We're under attack!
Why would they do that to me? Why would they do that? Ugh. Oh, not this guy. Okay, but those two girls, top tier. We love it.
Lord Forthry, how good it is to see you. How long has it been? Not since your inauguration, unless I'm mistaken. Too long, at any rate. May I say, how humbled I am to be invited not only into your city, but your home. You are as generous as ever.
And you as disingenuous.
Oh, is the lion like the light warden of that area? When you're a jester, but you gotta have a titty window, truly.
Let us dispense with the pleasantries. This merry band of
Maybe.
dissidents people are calling
I knew it.
warriors of darkness. They have slain sin-eaters, and by all accounts the Crystarium is complicit in their villainy. And now I hear reports of your people obstructing my soldiers, so I must ask, what exactly do you think you are doing?
I might ask you the same thing. It should be clear, even to you, that defeating the Light Wardens represents the world's only hope of survival. Even now, the people of Lakeland and Ilmeg rejoice in the return of night. For 100 years, they yearned for a means to fight back against the Sin-Eaters, and at last they have found one. Yet you choose to stand idly by and do nothing. Why?
Why? Because this
Why?
hope you cling to is nothing more than a fever dream, an exercise in futility.
I suppose you'll have to continue to play. I know, crazy. I'll just have to
Even should
keep
you
playing
slay
to
the
figure out more
Sin-Eaters,
information.
The world as we know it is beyond salvation. With what little land and resources remain, the people would be free only to starve. Before long, they would turn to violence, then to war, and ultimately usher themselves unto oblivion. They require a firm hand to shepherd them from the edge. The hand of a king. Nay, a god.
I hate this man. Wifey, hello. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing
see
well.
Their dreams fulfilled, their wishes granted. I will give them peace, order, and they shall never want for bliss.
Wonder how many rings Three has gone through? Good question. I've had such a good week. Oh, that's so great, wifey. And you should definitely reward yourself for that great week you're having.
Men are fickle creatures.
Oh, that wasn't...
who entertain vague
Aside from the
ideas
dentist
without
approach
the
using...
faintest
Wait.
notion
I thought
what
that
they
was
cost.
sarcasm.
But a
I'm
little
so
fear
sorry.
can go a long
If you've
way
actually had a really good week so
helping
far,
them
that's amazing, and I'm
realize
so happy for
what
you.
it is they truly need.
Okay, good.
Sanctuary.
I'm glad.
And they
I
shall
thought the
find
stars
none
meant you
in
were being
this world
sarcastic.
Save that which I afford them.
Wait, do you not like the dentist? I didn't know this. Let's go, wifey. Killing it this week.
That is why the Sin Eaters exist. To unite the world under my dominion.
Who put him on top?
A paradise
Himself?
fit to grace the 8th Umbral era.
What was that?
A minor epiphany, nothing more. You have always held sway over those around you. Those who defy you must submit or die. What sits before me is the inevitable result of bloated privilege and unchecked power. But man is more resilient than you think. His achievements are not the product of violence and bloodshed, but compassion and understanding. This calamity is but another crisis to be overcome. And we will, once we eliminate the Sin Eaters.
Okay.
Poor deluded fool. These people care not for the morrow. They care only for the now, and the contentment they lack. What good is a paradise to them if it is 1,000 years in the making, or even 100?
You underestimate them, Lord Vorthry. They see further than you think. I have beheld it in the blood and sweat and tears of those who would sacrifice everything for a future they may never know. That their children may never know.
Now I just have a cavities, to fill and a toothache. That's no fun. But it's the only not fun part of this week. Otherwise, life is great. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm glad, like, the ADHD meds you got are working out. And hopefully they will be able to fix the small minor things that need to be fixed with it. And then things can just get even better.
I have beheld it in the hopes and dreams of those who came before, which we bequeath to those who come after, that they might in turn build upon the foundations laid by our forebears. These are the bonds which hold man and his world together, not your gilded chains, and I will resist your every effort to shackle him.
Yeah, tell him.
In summary, you will continue to support the villains hunting my Sin Eaters?
With tremendous enthusiasm, for I have faith in the future they would build.
Tremendous enthusiasm. He said, F you.
Oh, why do I even bother? Fools, the lot of you. So naive. So painfully predictable. Did you imagine I did not know your mind? That I would wait until after this meeting to dispatch my forces? Even as we speak, they march to the Sin Eaters' defense. Insurrection will not be tolerated.
Okay.
The people of of this world are mine to rule, mine to command.
Who told him this?
And you are no exception! What? How did he?
'Twas but an illusion.
I will not stand for this! Do you hear me?
Well, I don't think you've been standing at all, my guy. You've been sitting. And that's not standing either. Actual baby rage, truly. He's like, what do you mean they're not listening to me? So, okay. Okay. Okay.
You speak for the Knights Blessed?
I do. I presume that is your doing. If you have come to parley, I must insist that you first return him to us.
You're in no position to make demands.
I don't know about that. She's pretty powerful.
By Lord Vorthry's decree, Raktika now falls under the governance of Yulmore. You will henceforth answer to us.
Heck no.
Is that so? And the children of the Everlasting Dark have acquiesced to this madness?
We have reached an accord, yes. Too many times have the Knights Blessed shunned Yulmore's overtures of friendship. The risk that you harbor hostile intentions
Friendship?
has grown too great to ignore.
You're just gonna roll
Therefore,
over them. That's not
his
friendship.
lordship has claimed dominion over this forest and bestowed executive authority upon the children of the Everlasting Dark.
In his wisdom, Lord Vorthry has agreed to recognize ours as the only permissible expression of dark worship. It's one true faith.
Oh god.
You and your false creed are a blight on these woods. A foul, unholy corruption that must be cleansed. Little wonder the Warrior of Darkness visits both Lakeland and Ilmeg, yet shuns Raktika. Your perverted teachings hold blessed Shadow at bay.
You have accepted the yoke of Yulmore to spite us, then? Fools. Darkness will never return to these skies while they hold sway.
Those of you minded to obey his lordship are to make for Woven Oath with all haste. We will leave you, that you may have time to prepare.
Woven Oath? Are you suggesting we abandon our fate to join those Salads?
What has your faith afforded you thus far?
Oh my god, get this man out of here.
We will guide you along the righteous path.
Abandon them.
And should we refuse?
Anyone found here upon our return will be considered a traitor to Yulmore, and dealt with as such.
Those guys better go with them. Good. They're not welcome here anymore.
We will discuss these developments after I have tended to our casualty.
Dang. All right. So we're gonna go defeat the Sin Eater while he's gone, right? Right. What in the world? Oh, I do have to leave here. Okay. All right. I think we should just go defeat the Sun Eater and, like, make him more mad. I really don't understand why this guy is aligning himself with, him either. Because he was fighting for the light to go away, and then I feel like he just switched up. Like, there's no explanation for that. Am I gonna have to, like, run on these? Okay. Oh, I guess I can swim, too. That's what it's telling me. It's telling me I need to swim. And is this how I dive? Hold on. How do I dive again? Oh, control space. That's what it is. Thank you, Eddie. You said it exactly when I remembered, so it was a team effort. I'm confused. It says down, so is it down even more from here? Let me get on my horse. I'm so confused, honestly. Maybe it's up? Not down? I'm so confused. It's gotta be down. I am very confused though. If I'm so for real. I feel like there has to be like an entrance to a cave somewhere. I was right. Oh my god, the serpent statue is the year of the snake! So funny. A sneak. Find the second statue. Okay. So this is where I just came from. Let's find another entrance. Hold on. Does this all like just like connect? I'm confused. Hold on. No. Okay. All right. Well, huh. Maybe this one is above water. Maybe not. Come on. I am very confused. And then when I get down to the bottom, it says I'm on the same level. Like when I get down here. Oh my god, watch it be right here. God dang it. It's always when I'm like thoroughly convinced I like have searched an area. It's like, nah, you're wrong. Oh. Not good. Oh, I don't know if that's a good sign or not. No emotion, only DPS. Truly. Welcome in. How are you? It's good to see you. Alright. See, that one was easy to find. I said, oh, I got that. I got that. Oh, okay. It's fine. Just being, poisoned over and over again. Everything's fine. Of course that one was easy to find. It poisoned me. All right, another stir in the lake. I'm just waiting for the car to heat up. So valid. Oh, let's go. Okay, cool. Forgot you were thawing a saffron bun on the counter. Oh no! I'm sure it's still okay. It will be okay still. It was like here, the weather here was very warm today for winter, and it felt so nice and made me so ready for spring. But it was kind of crazy from last week, going from like 15 degrees in the mornings to like maybe like 20-30 degrees tops, and then now it was like 60 degrees today, which is bonkers. One of the first things I'm gonna buy when I have like more of a, when I rent a place with a driveway, or like I buy a house, is gonna be the remote start car, so I can remote start it, so I don't have to sit there and just wait for it to heat up in the car, because being in the car while it heats up is not fun. Oh wow, this area is cool. What the heck? This whole world is really cool. I think Wifey would definitely be a phoenix. You're so right. If Wifey was a mythical creature, definitely phoenix. They kind of get no choice in the matter.
would seem we have found them.
Hmm.
You
My
trespass
people.
upon sacred ground. Begone!
Hot cross buns! It's bun time.
Wait! We did not come to!
Okay. Oh, she's having fun with
Stop,
this.
we mean you no harm.
They said, oh, wait a minute.
Is that?
Oh god, she's so pretty.
We are allies of the Empire of Ronka. As is customary, we come bearing the seal of the Emperor.
Oh my god.
It appears to be genuine.
Let's go.
Then perhaps there's yet hope.
Perhaps. We acknowledge your seal, but we must be certain of its authenticity. Follow the azure flowers to our village. There we will judge if you are friend or foe.
Try not to stray from the path. All right?
Oh, this is so exciting. Ah.
Follow the flowers. Would it kill them to escort us?
Of course they're not going to escort us. Bun
But
village,
if it
bun
affords us an
village, bun
opportunity to
village.
investigate Ixmaya, fine.
I'm excited. This is the first time in the game that we've seen bunnies, I think. Other than like, I think, has there been like, maybe like a few in like the cities as NPCs? But I don't recall. Lena, who you just met at the Castrilium. Oh, yes, yes. But yeah, this is the first civilization of rabbits. Let's go. I would have the seal to confirm. There's no mistake. The crest of the royal family is proper size, and by its weight, it's plain it was made from gold. The seal is indeed genuine. For 3,000 years, we have waited for this moment, and now you are finally here. I bid you welcome. Is that common nowadays? How times have changed. But I digress. Come and be sure to watch your step. Shri said, Clara? Really? Yeah, really. That's my name. This place is really cool. Sorry for the yawn. Oh my gosh. As bearers of the seal, you have a right to know what became of the Empire and my people's purpose here. We are descendants of the palace guard which served under the last emperor, and to this day we carry on the duty of our forebears, the final decree of his eminence before Ranka's fall. By the wisdom of our people was Ranka made to thrive. Such knowledge must never be forgotten, nor may it suffer to fall into the hands of the wicked. Keep it secret, keep it safe, and look to the coming of our allies. Unto them you shall bequeath our all, and thus will Ranka live on. By his command we have remained the guardians of Ranka's ruins, and wisdom held within. So we are the people who came in prophecy. This isn't spoiler, I would say, but more lore that came with the release of Mail Buns that got released later, but better textures. Oh. Got you. I did meet the buns. This is so fun. I'm so happy to finally, like, come across more bunnies. But basically, male buns aren't allowed into the village from a certain age and just go on about living their own in the woods and mountains and such. They are allowed back every now and then into the village for one purpose only. Yikes, what? That kind of reminds me of the village from, God, what's it called? From Zelda, where it's like all women. Yes, yes. Gerudo Village. Okay, back up this way. I know, right? Yeah, kind of, except the Gerudo women, like, literally hunt men. As in hunt outside their village to bring them. Yeah. Here, they're just like, go away for a bit. Shoo shoo. And one more. Oh, I cannot jump off. Not me accidentally stumbling on my own legs outside the Gerudo village. Oh no! There are very beautiful women in that village. Corelli? Corelli. All right. This one? Yep, this one. Oh. It said you don't have a lot of room in your inventory, sis. I'm always running out of inventory. Let me actually see. She just needs to get rid of stuff, not hoard it else. Yeah, I don't know how any of this works. So, oh, let me go ahead and eat something anyways while I'm here. Because I haven't done that yet today. I have one retainer, I think. I think I have one retainer. And because I made her look like my first girl. You need essentially none of those potions. You can sell them all. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I'm going the right way. Basically, yeah, just go down this way. Is your armory full? Should be way to have armor secure items go directly there. Yeah, it is. It is pretty full. That's probably why it's doing that. The max is 2 by default unless you buy more. Yeah, I think I only have 1. Whoa, this place is... Go away. Alright. Oh, this is gonna take forever. Please leave me alone. Is it because I started a fight, so now it's not gonna go away? Thank the Lord. Use the tablets on the inscriptions. Okay. I feel like... Okay, now I definitely need to go back to Reaper. Oh, can I actually go up? I can't. This is, crap. No! You know what? Fudge it. I'm going over here. Why can he... I'm so annoyed. Why can they climb? Thank the Lord. I don't like these stairs. Please. Girl. They did this just for the bunny people. I know they did. It's to hop up and down. Please don't look at me. Oh. Okay. One more. Your lord. Okay. I feel like if I'm sliding down like that, I shouldn't be hurt, but it's okay. I think I said that, but I don't remember. I said I think it's probably full. Or close to it, so it's like, I don't want to deal with this. This scene cannot be skipped. Oh, sheesh. I want to hear the riddle one more time. Come together, share to spare, go thy ways, dread burdens bear. Mark the crown, heed its call, avert thy gaze, forever fall. What? Oh no, I thought they were gonna like... Okay, let's go at it again. Am I just gonna go down the line? I don't understand the riddle. I don't understand the puzzle. Let me do it one more time. Maybe it just spells it out. C-S-C-G-M-A. Mark the crown, heed its call, avert thy gaze, forever fall. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. And I don't know what that is. I know what a wolf and an owl are. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe this one. God dang it. She said, please don't make me go through that again. Cat thing, bird thing, monkey thing. I gotta look at the statues? What statues? Are they birds? That looks like a bird. It's so interesting to see other people play something I played just a few hours ago. Welcome in. I'm a sneak. I am loving it so far. I have fallen more and more deeply in love with this game every time I play it. So I hope you're enjoying it as well. Wifey, thank you for dropping in. I appreciate it. I hope whatever you're doing goes swell. Swimming. Okay, I think it's bird. Owl. I think it's an owl. I think. Oh, it's game night. Yeah, that's what I figured. Wednesdays are game night for them. Oh god. It's your first as well? That's so awesome. When did you start, like, really liking the game? Because mine was Heaven's Word. I was about to go down the whole list, so I'm glad you said something about looking at the statues. And then ever since Heaven's Word 2, the story has just gotten better and better. Heaven's Word forever, truly. It's also just so beautiful there. But every place I go to, I feel like it just gets prettier and prettier. They just get better and better and better at making this game, which is to be expected, but... Okay. I usually check my inventory to see the stuff that is ready for... I have no idea what that is, Alan. See, I literally, like, just run around and click and play this game. I don't sell anything. If I don't want it, I just discard it. Truly, I'm like, oh, discard. Whatever. Discard. That is atrocious. Atrocious. I can't. They worship that? Atrocious. I can't. What's down there? Nothing. It's literally just a hole. I think once after I finish like MSQ, I'm gonna oh, the mic is? Let me see. Bum, bum, bum. So every now and then my audio and everything will just start going crackly for no reason. And I still haven't figured out why. It normally goes away on its own. But we'll see. I tried to fix it. Maybe that helped. But yeah, there's literally no... Yeah, you haven't properly threatened my computer lately. I think I got a little scared when you came over. And now it's back to its old BS. I know. Guess gotta come back over. Darn it. Most items have options to break down gear for items. The system even has its own leveling progression. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, I have nothing leveled except the ones that I'm currently working on. Which right now it's Reaper. Those things are creepy. No. I love my crafters first, so I didn't forget that. Yeah, I haven't even leveled my thing to get a house. Like, I cannot own an apartment or a house because I haven't leveled my whatever to get that. Grand Company, that's what it's called. The doohickey, you know? To be 30? Oh my god. Ah! Oh! I didn't run into that when I went in there because I was just running around all willy-nilly. Oh no, why is it locked? Oh my god, I gotta carry... SMH, SMH. I feel like I would still be able to carry a statue, even if something attacked me. I'm just that great. I'm the warrior of light. And darkness now. Both. Kind of scared to move because he's gonna turn and attack me. Can you turn around? Since like June? Oh my god. What? Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Dear Lord. And it's almost February. Oh no, hold on. Whew. Okay. I gotta go around this way. The housing market? Yeah, truly. And real life sucks, and in game sucks. Can't buy a house no matter what. Woo! It was enough. The wood bats are cute. I like the wood bats. Oh. Yeah, let's go. Let's get this over with. Oh, hold on. Okay. I was just telling my significant other to bring me dinner. Because I don't want to cook. Oh, I don't like that. Oh my gosh. Chasing me. Wait. I did avoid him. I'm confusion.
Away with you!
This ends now!
Dear Lord. I'm confused. Is this not where I go? That's where I came in. That is where I go. Oh my god. Follow them. Okay. Okay, let's go. What am I supposed to do? Oh my god. I thought he was gonna turn the corner. Girls, can you keep up with me, please? Please? Oh my god, 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 oh my god. Perhaps there's a pattern to their movements. Mayhap. Okay. Oh god, I already used my sprint. Yeah, you can't get in their line of sight, like... Yeah, you can't see their line of sight. There's no... What? Where? Where is their line of sight? Please let me know. Like, I feel like that first area didn't make sense, but it's fine. Oh gosh. Oh, amazing. Think they show the way out? Oh god. Okay. Done. This one. Why must she pressure me like that? I'm trying my best over here. She said, "Are you guys out yet?" I made it out. Okay, I get it. You're better than me. Yustala, please. Oh! Oh! Oh no. This is why you said Indiana Jones. By the gods. Run. I can't. Oh god. Faster! What do you mean faster? I'm going as fast as I can. We have to jump! Oh my god. That was stressful. I pray it's not much further. Truly. They're far too fast for us. Let's go, okay. Yeah, I hope that was the last drop. Okay. Oh, now that doesn't add up. Nothing adds up. Quite literally. That's unfair.
Here I come. No holding back.
I want. Oh, that's my girl. Wow, Kira. Come on. I fear this is also going nowhere.
Keep fighting.
Oh my god. Okay.
It seems to be working.
Oh no.
not.
General, hold on!
Oh! Oh gosh. Now what, are we trapped?
Expertly done.
How was I to know that that would happen?
Good job,
It
Twinkle
looked like
Toes.
any other part of the floor.
Twinkle Toes.
Might now be an opportune time to strike a bargain? We poisoned a number of villagers in Slitherbough with a toxin brewed for us by the children.
Children?
This is the antidote. I dare say you know how potent their concoctions are, and the futility of trying to counteract their effects. Now, try anything here, and we're all likely to fall. Eventually someone will come to our rescue. Or yours. Promise us safe passage, and we'll give you the antidote.
I don't like this
Do
guy.
we have a deal?
We do not negotiate with the enemy. The villagers' lives are forfeit, as is yours.
General?
Oh.
Do not fail.
Oh my god.
How noble and pointless.
I bet we put her in a bubble. Truly.
Is everyone all right? What in the...
Oriange! At once. Down with you!
Oh my god. One scion less. I'm hoping she survived somehow, because there's no way Ranjit just died off that.
Where is Y'shtola?
Ugh. Why was the end of that name Speak with Y'shtola? I can't. You done missed all the action. I know. Welcome in, my wolf. It do be sad right now. I refuse to believe she's dead. There's no way. There's no way. No way. It's actually lying to me. The game is lying to me. She survived somehow. I hope you're doing well. Oh. She didn't explode. She just dropped. Oh, come on. A third dose of the antidote. Holy sheesh. Deepwood green, Celeste green, lime green. I like the deepwood green, I think. Offer, ma'am? He's unconscious. It should be treat. Treat my man of his sickness. I'm a nurse. I'm a doctor. I've picked up a new profession. Medical consent given. Yeah. Yeah. Oof.
Runa, thank goodness.
We delivered the antidote to Slitherbow, and from what we could gather on the way here, the Ulmorans have had the good manners to withdraw. Thank the gods they did, or we would never have made it here in time. I'm told we have Runar and his comrades to thank for keeping the soldiers occupied prior to their retreat. They were preparing to come for you and Y'shtola, it seems, when Runar rallied the villagers and pursued them out of Slitherbow.
Hmm.
Where am I?
Ixmaya, in the care of the Vis. Thou art safe now, friend. Pray, rest thee a while longer.
No. No, I am all right. Somewhat heavy of limb, perhaps, but otherwise well, I assure you.
Me too, my guy. Me too.
I am glad to see you are all safe. When we realized where the soldiers were headed, we knew something had to be done. I do not see Master Matoya. She was with you, yes? What happened to her?
Oh. She saved the Knights Blessed. Yeah, I cannot say for certain. We cannot say for certain. Not for certain.
Spare me your riddles and speak plain. Where is Master Matoya?
Well, I really wasn't riddling you. I was saying the truth. About that.
No. No, that cannot be. Why would she do such a thing? Was there no other way? I cannot believe that she...
Oh.
We must begin the search immediately. I will come with you.
We don't know where that hole
goes. We must
goes.
find her. She could be trapped, or hurt, or... She is alive.
She is alive, damn you!
Bruh, I've known her 10 times longer. Oh.
Forgive me for interrupting, but our scouts have apprehended an intruder. We thought perhaps he might be an associate of yours.
Who? Yeah, there was that. But still, I feel— oh no!
Oh, look who it is.
Oh, look who it is. Why is he showing up now?
Oh, this is embarrassing. In my defense, they are surprisingly tenacious.
It's my best friend, my bestie.
So, what trouble have you gotten yourselves into this time?
This time, haven't you been watching? I shall be back, but this is gonna be good. Oh my gosh. That ad got me. I'm sorry, Alan. I'm sorry.
Well, well. What an intriguing turn of events. My condolences, by the way. It is never easy to lose the ones we love. Well, she is dead, isn't she? Wishing it were otherwise will not make it so.
That you should be indifferent to her loss is no surprise. But to us, she was a friend. The best of friends.
I still think she's alive. Why? Why? Why show me this again?
You have something on your mind. What is it?
I'm beginning to wonder what really happened when she fell. After she fell, there was a powerful gust of wind, as if from nowhere.
Pray recount to us again that which thou witnessed in the ruins, omitting not the slightest detail.
Okay. I know, I'm just kind of vague. I'm like, hey, this kind of happened. And they're like, what? What do you mean? Why didn't you tell us before? I'm sorry.
Flow. The teleportation magic she used to spirit us away from Uldar after the bloody banquet. I recall a similar gale in the tunnel before it took effect.
Oh.
Interesting. I thought I sensed a brief disturbance in the live stream. How reassuring to know it was not my imagination. I felt it only once, I should mention, which would suggest she is still adrift on its currents.
Then I
She
fear
did this
may
the
yet
first
be lost to
time.
us. For it was only by the grace of the elementals that she was plucked from that great ethereal river.
Okay.
Ah, very well. I'll go and fetch her.
Oh.
Perhaps a clear and unambiguous act of kindness will serve to win the trust you seem so determined to deny me.
Why is he evil but also not evil? You know? But that also makes him a great villain. He's like, am I a joke to you? Hello? I can do things. Sorry, my guy. Sorry. sorry, I was in a dungeon, so how do you feel about Yustola? I'm in denial, so I feel fine. I was in denial when she fell. I was like, there's no way she's dead. And if he's gonna be able to pluck her out of there, yeah. See, I was right. I didn't need to cry, and I didn't. And I'm good. We're good. His boredom is higher priority than the... Truly. He's like, I'm actually bored, like, heavily. So I'm gonna do this for you guys. You're welcome. It's like, okay. Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. Okay, what are we looking for? Oh, use the lamp. I think we might need to go to a certain place. I know, she probably should just stay put for a bit. I'm confused. Lamp is dim. Oh, so I'm using it. My guy, did I ask for a fight? I do not believe I did. Expansion of Heartbreak. So it is? I had no idea. Oh no. Glows faintly. I'm a little confused because it says go down. Oh, is it inside here? No, this way. Maybe just over here. The lamp is near blinding. Perhaps it'd be a good time to call. Oh gosh, if he really brings her back, that's gonna be crazy. I wish she didn't slouch. I did hear prior to me going into the dungeon that you love the game. I do. I only have issues with Stormblood as of right now.
This place should serve well enough.
Why didn't you enjoy Stormblood? What did you not like about it?
Have a little space. I need to concentrate.
Okay, have all the space you need. Shoreblood is definitely the worst so far. Will you agree too? Love the content, but MSQ threw me off so much. But thankfully there was Heaven's Word and there are Shadowbringers now, so... Interesting. I don't know how I'd rank them. I think Shadowbringers is my favorite so far, but I think Stormblood and Heaven's Word is kind of the same for me.
Ah, there you are.
You don't like Lise? Interesting. Depends on if you're only looking at MSQ. I guess, yeah. Not in the least armor. Interesting. We have some least stands in here. Stormblood's strengths are all within post and side stuff.
He's done it. He's brought her back.
I liked the MSQ, but I can see how the post was really good, and then I can see how the side stuff. Would just add to it. Oh, okay, cool. He said, let me give her clothes. You didn't like the pace, Lise was annoying, and then not to mention all the different shades of brown you only saw all the time. Oh. I really liked it. I think my complaint about it would be the going back and forth between the two places, but I understand for the storyline and the plot for both places in a sense.
Yes, though I cannot imagine how. What happened?
Thou didst invoke the power of flow, which thence did usher thy soul unto the life stream.
Okay.
I wanted to save the antidote, and after that... I did something exceedingly reckless, for which you will just have to forgive me.
Yeah. Oh.
Master Matoya, oh, thank the heavens you're all right. I had nearly given up hope.
Are they in love? Oh, he loves her. He loves her so much.
Dry your tears. What would the others think if they saw you like this?
Oh. That's so cute.
Come now. Did
He
you
was
really
so
think I'd go
happy.
gently into that dark night with so much left undone? So many mysteries left unsolved.
Oh, so cute.
Is there aught you wish to say to me? A word of thanks, perhaps?
He's like, don't forget, say thank you. And compared to Heaven's Ward, it was really being on a fun ride and then just nothing. I can see that. I understand. he might speak a different tune once he sees. He really likes her. It's great. He really cares.
Emmet Selk, the Ascian of whom I spoke. 'Twas he who plucked thee from the life stream.
I see. Thank you.
Well,
differences notwithstanding, you saved my life, and for that I am grateful. But let us turn our attention to more important matters, such as the Katana Ravel. You had better not have explored its depths without me.
We literally just got back.
Well, Almet and the others should be pleased to see you in such uncharacteristically high spirits. Let us return to Fanoff then, and discuss the coming expedition.
You have something for me? Oh my gosh. Let me get out of this cutscene. I have mixed feelings about Emmett. Alright, I'm just gonna TP back to Fano, if you're near Fano. Excuse me. Bum bum bum. I'll be a minute. Okay, then I'm just gonna let me know when you're around here. But I'm just gonna keep on with the MSQ for a hot minute. I shall dilly dally about. Oh. Hold on. So that's suit up. I gotta go this way. How? Oh, okay. I was like, how does that go down? I like how the path is like just this blue flowers pretty much. It's a really cool concept. Go into these ruins. By the way, guess what? What? What's up, nerd? What's up? I don't... Okay, wait, hold on. I don't... Oh. There we go. I did it. Let's go. Party full. No, come on. Come on and join, Alan. It's dungeon time. Let's move online players. What is your online, what is your bet? You're in another world. Can you join? I think so, yeah. I think we do still need one more. Centel. Oh, there we go. Invite to party. So we have Alan and one more coming in. Oh, dungeons are 4 people? Oh. So, just Alan, let me know your your in-game name, and then I can add you, and we can go in the dungeon. Wait! Oh my god! Amethyst stuff? Oh my god. What? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's, oh my god. Oxy, okay, okay. Oh, you said Oxy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I missed that before. Let me go ahead. Oxy. Here we go. Sweet. Oh my god. Oh, well. Let me... I can't apply my glamour plate here. I can really only do Reaper here, so I apologize, guys. Let's look at this. The stuff you just gave me. Is it just in my pocket? Oh, I need one more level. Okay, okay. I'm almost there. I'm very close. Wild. Welcome in. What? If I go to party... Ready? Check. Is that it? Oh, I did it! I did it! Haha! I remembered! Let's go! That's so fun. Alright, y'all. Let's do this. Thank you. Thank you for the stuff, also. I can't wait to try it on. I'm so excited. Especially the new scythe. What does it look like? I'm so excited. Whoa. Oh, I thought that was gonna be like the final boss. All gas, no brakes. You love this one a lot. This one looks so cool so far. Alright, guys. Let's hit it. Keep up. Oh, no. So how did I know which one's gonna... I'll try and figure it out. Oh, I see. It's because it's blocked by that thing. Okay, okay. The scythe looks pretty with the dye. Okay. Oh, I forget you can dye your scythes. I didn't even think about that. I only thought about dyeing clothes. I think my little chocobo is holding all of my dyes, and I definitely need to like get them from them so I can like dye more things. Oh. I didn't even think about dyeing weapons. I was just kind of like, that's it. That's all. Dear Lord. Oh, I might have gotten hit by that. I did. Okay, okay. It could be that your current one isn't dyeable. That there's a white version that is dyeable? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to look into it to see if it is. Oh, oh I see. I want to be on the other side. So I can actually hit him. I don't know if I understand yet, but I'll get there. I mean, if I can dye like my current site purple, I mean, oh, I shouldn't be there. I should not be there. Hello. I'm Sneak. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I feel like every time we're in a dungeon and Beth's like healing, it's like babysitting like a toddler with me. It's like she knows I'm just gonna sit here and hit. And she's like, hold on, I got you. You should totally do a relic to your Reaper. What is that? What does that mean? What does that do? Please explain. Glorified glam weapon. Oh, okay. Oh, that was flank, not rear. The next one's rear. But looks really cool. Yeah. So, I know, I plan on adding some more stuff to my glams like that. I just haven't really thought about it so much, but I should definitely do that. Literally everything that's been on my brain is just MSQ, 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 you know? Downfall of relics grindy. Oh. I mean, I could definitely do that in time. I don't know if my brain will allow me to do it now, but oh. I'm definitely down to do something like that. Holy sheesh, pulling them all. Whoa. It's like a bat? It is a bat. Alright. There's no way this is the boss because... Oh. Me too. Because it would have shown a cutscene if it was the end boss. This must be the boss before the big boss. Oh, wowzers. I didn't expect that. need to not stand there. Oh my gosh, of course. Almost there. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Bum 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 bum. Whee! I didn't mean to pull that. IB? Huh? Huh? Okay. Oh, more. Oh, I ran straight into that. It's alright. Oh, cutscene. Oh. What is the three-headed dog that guards the underworld called? Is it Ebros? Or can't remember. Eros? I don't think it's Eros. It might be. Once there, I could do. Oh, limit break. Okay, so I don't have limit break saved, and I need to audit. I need to audit. So if you can limit break all you want. Wifey said Griffin just to confuse us. No, they knew. They know it's Phoenix. Oh, you just type limit break? Oh, I had no idea. Okay. For the dog, if it's healed. The three-headed one, it's Suberus. You're right. I remember that now. Yeah, I shouldn't have. I was... Yep. Detail of that thing being a snake is crazy. This is a type of mythical creature, and I can't remember. But I know, like, the tail, it's something. Oh. Yeah, I guess slash AC is limit break, works in general sense, but I wonder if there's a shortcut. Just put it on your hotbar. Yeah, I really need to put it on my hotbar. I feel like targets are weird. Nope. Is it really just up to me to use limit break in this situation? Yeah. I'm lost on the thing. I've never seen it before. I know in like some mythology it's something with like the tail of a snake. I can't remember though. Easy. Chimera is the creature you were thinking of. I think you're right. I think it is called a chimera. Thank you guys. I do want this. I do want the little note. Melees want to use limit break on the boss. Range and casters want to use limit break on the biggest group of enemies. Usually right before the last boss. Oh, okay. Def put limit break on all your jobs. Hotbars, please, yeah. See, the thing is, I forgot how to pull up everything. Every time I get a new job, Beth's like, can you do this? And I'm like, yep, And they coach me through it every time. But I've been forgetting to put limit break. Limit break has been forgotten. I was confused at first, but I got it by the second group. Yeah. You did, yeah, everyone did really well. About to save my butt a couple times. But that's what my wife does. That's what my wife does for me.
The Light Warden is dead.
Yes.
The Blessed's prayers have been answered.
Let's go. Fudge the Light Warden.
Aye, that they have.
That was a cool Light Warden. All the Light Wardens have been really cool. I'm gonna be real. It wasn't really necessary, but it was fun. You're just like, get over here, please. You're like, get over here, and I'm just like, dee, continue fighting.
It does. Though she shows no immediate signs of corruption, the danger remains. She must be told.
I must be told what? That the light is corrupting me?
Would you describe it to me, Marie-Ange? Paint for me a picture with your words.
Aww.
A sea of shimmering stars. Diamonds strewn across a raven gown.
I'm gonna sob.
Boundless and beautiful. 'Tis an exquisite sight, not unlike that of the source. Calm and gentle and forgiving.
Bless you, Mike.
I can see it.
For however deep the void, or wide the expanse, there is no shore so distant as to be beyond the reach of light. Ominous.
Oh, I didn't mean to click! I didn't mean to click! Hints are gonna be up here.
Well fought. Let us return home.
She has such like a... Her relationships with people are so touching. I can't. She just really does touch people, man. Wow. That's how I saw that one.
The murals. If I am not mistaken, they predate the Empire.
How can you tell?
A peculiarity of the paint. Most are made from mineral-based pigments. But whatever was used here is older than anything I have ever seen.
So was this like a prediction of like, you know, they were fighting the darkness and then the light and darkness went against each other and then the light won and then the light swallowed the world?
According to Almet, this sanctuary was built to preserve the wisdom of the ancients. What events do these murals commemorate, I wonder?
I think exactly what I said. I usually got targeted for a tether, but it really had it out for you.
Must you always linger after defeating your enemies? Navigating these halls on foot is exhausting.
Come to lead us to safety, have you?
I was bored. But how is the hero of the hour?
Truly, he's just doing things because he's bored, and I actually kind of appreciate that. He's like, I don't really have like some long malicious backstory. I'm just bored.
Keep up the good work.
And just want to stir the pot. Chaotic neutral for real. To real.
Every hour of every day.
I know, this dude, I don't know.
But never you mind about that. As I have told you 1,000 times before, I like to watch. Nothing more.
Okay.
Well, I would quit this place, and I suggest you do the same. There is yet work to be done.
That's suspicious.
There is a sight to bring a tear to the eye.
You recognize these scenes?
You're not gonna...
That
Okay.
I do. Indeed, there was a time when anyone and everyone would. Until one calamitous day when the world was divided across 10 and 3 reflections, sundering the land and all who dwelled upon it.
Wait, so this is from the main?
And the worst part? No one could remember it. Not really. Just fragments and fleeting memories of an achingly familiar world.
How old is this guy?
A vision shared of a paradise lost, preserved only in song and scripture and paint. Once upon a time. Yet here we find ourselves again, to look, learn, and remember.
Maybe he is just bored.
And share with us the stories you know so well.
Maybe that's
You're
just his...
listening.
He's just bored. Like, he's just too old and bored. And he's like, let me just do this and that.
Before the great sundering, there was one world. A world that knew naught but peace and prosperity. Until it was faced with a crisis.
Like, that's
Unprecedented.
fire.
Terrifying. Civilization found itself perched upon a precipice, staring into oblivion. But through prayer and sacrifice, the will of the star was made manifest. Zodiac was his name, and by his grace was the calamity averted.
Hold on. Okay, sorry. Had to answer that message.
Zodiac.
A savior mighty and magnificent, deserving of reverence and gratitude. One would have thought, yet some thought otherwise. From the fears of these naysayers would rise Hydaelyn, she who was to serve as his shackles, to bind him and hold him in check.
Emmett is a lot of things, but a liar is not one of those. True. I have kind of caught on to that.
So
he's just like, yeah, whatever. Here it is. Here's the truth.
They fought, and in the end, Hydaelyn was victorious. With all her strength, she smote him, dealing a blow so devastating that it split the very fabric of reality. And thus was Zodiac
Excuse
banished
me.
and his being divided. That concludes today's lesson on long-forgotten history. Though I imagine your mother would offer a rather contradictory account, as is her wont.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I can only assume I misheard. But it sounded an awful lot like you were implying both Zodiac and Hydaelyn are not gods. But
What? Not gods of the first? Is that what you thought these paintings depicted? Or... Oh. Oh.
He is so sassy. I love him.
They are gods after a fashion, yes. But no different from the kind with which you are so intimately acquainted. Formed of faith and prayer, of conviction and devotion. The eldest and most powerful of primals.
Oh. My
You've spun quite Quite a tale. Yet you have not explained the role of the Ascians in all of this. How is it you are privy to ancient secrets lost to time?
I feel like because he's that old.
Finally you ask the right question. And shrewd questions warrant honest answers.
Honest answers. Honest man.
We Ascians know because it is our history, our story.
Hold on. Hold on. Is he saying Ascians are primals, basically? Hold on.
It was we who summoned Zodiac.
Oh, okay.
We natives of that sundered paradise.
No, they're just really old, like I said. Okay.
Now, do you see why we yearn for the great rejoining? For our world. For our people. For all creation to be made whole again.
Dang, man.
Wouldn't you wish for the same?
And he's still dramatic till the end. Till the end. Still dramatic. Dear Lord, guys. That was a lot. That was a lot. Big lore drop there. Which, you know, makes sense, but how did they get to the way they are being like Dacians? Like, how is it because like the explosion of all of the, for lack of better terms, planets from the one made them that way? How many of them are there then? And how many of them have died over time? Because if they're the people from that time, right? There's gotta be like almost an infinite amount, right? Or like as many people as there are like in at least one of our worlds, right? Granted, you know, some have died, but anywhere between 2 and 11 billion. Yeah, exactly. 11 billion. Yeah, that is a very heavy cutscene. 3-hour stream, how long do you usually stream for? So my stream normally goes, it kind of ranges between like 2 to 3 hours. Sometimes I'll go longer, sometimes I'll go shorter. My Monday streams are normally about 2 hours, and then my Wednesdays, I'm gonna try and do them as 3. So yeah. And then if I do like one on the weekends, maybe I'll go longer or shorter. But I try to keep it between 2 hours for Mondays and 3 hours for Wednesdays. So yeah, don't answer. I'll get there soon enough. Because honestly, I'm flying through the MSQ in this game. The clash between the Hellenian and the Zoderic sundered everything and everyone as far as we know now. Yeah. They literally, like, just exploded everything. Literally changed it. It's kind of like Pokemon. And how... Never mind. Anyway. On that note, guys, we are gonna end stream there. I feel like that's a good ending point for all this, you know? A good stop, a good pause. I appreciate you guys being here so much. I'm gonna be live again this coming Monday for our regularly scheduled program. Let's find a wonderful friend to raid into. Alex just want to raid into Kate because they're also playing Final Fantasy. But why don't we raid into our friend B? They are playing Sea of Stars, which I don't think I've ever played that game before. Here are my socials. I post I'm gonna go live on there. Sometimes I'll throw like random streams in there if I'm not like super busy. But this time of year I'm a little bit busy with like birthdays and traveling and stuff like that. But yeah, I normally post I'm gonna go live there. And then here are my raid messages. I would appreciate if you guys would stick around for the raid, and hopefully I will see you guys Monday for some more Final Fantasy. I do have a YouTube channel as well, which as you saw on my socials that I post my VODs to. So if you missed anything, I have recorded from Stormblood. I started recording Stormblood like to here. So yeah, I will hopefully see you guys Monday, and thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys so much, and goodbye.